Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I think this is our first session in the month of August. So, first of all, thank you very much for joining us today. And before we begin the session, I would like to call out few points as part of our housekeeping activity. One of the first point that I would like to call out, by default, all participants who are going to join the sessions will be unmuted. And if you want to ask any question, either you can raise your hand and we will unmute yourself or you can unmute yourself once I unmute the settings from here. Second, please use the MS Team chat or any kind of a discussion that you wanted to have in this session. And third point that I wanted to highlight is that if you want to express any viewpoint or any sort of question related to topic, you can always again use the chat feature of this MS Teams, or you can also connect to our speaker. So in terms of our topic today, which is more focused on Dynamic 365 Service Copilot, where Kunal is going to more share his learning in terms of how we are going to enable the environment in terms of the Dynamic 365 service and best practices in terms of enablement of services, enablement of your Copilot, as well as the set of industry scenarios, right? And if you have any specific learning, you can also share in this session where we will also learn from you in terms of in a specific scenario that you wanted to cover. So with that, I'll take a pause and then hand over mic to Kunal. Kunal, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rakesh. So first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you have joined. And would like to thank first the India D365 and Power community for giving me this opportunity to speak in this prestigious forum. And a special thanks to our organizer, Rakesh and Kizar, so to have me on over here to speak. And let me share my screen to start with. Let me know once you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, yeah, so quick introduction about me. I am Kunal Chopra. I am Dynamics 365 CE Senior Solution Architect at Capgemini. I am Microsoft Power Platform Certified Solution Architect. I have also completed TOGAF 9 Enterprise Architect certification as well. I have total 16 plus years of experience, overall IT experience, as well as Microsoft Dynamics experience. I love to travel and I am tech enthusiastic as well. Here is my credential on LinkedIn, which I'll be sharing on the chat as well. So would like to connect with all of you so that we can learn from each other and grow. For the today's topic, it's like as Rakesh has already highlighted, it's about the Dynamics 365 Copilot or Copilot in Dynamics 365 customer service. But would like to highlight some of the fact of like why we are doing this. So it is basically for enhancing the customer experience and improving the agent productivity, because that is what is our ultimate goal wherever we are implementing any product. So we'll be discussing that, followed by a demo. So I have configured a quick demo for you guys to understand like how Dynamics 365 Service Copilot can be configured, what are things that we can do, we cannot do, and then we'll be having a Q&A session. So at the start of session, I would like to get some pulse from you guys, like uh, so would like every one of you to get into the Menti. So we'll spend a couple of minutes over here. I'll share my Menti screen. Let me know if you can see my Menti screen. Would like every one of you to just use the QR code or go to your mobile, type in menti.com, enter the code 17121017. So this will be really helpful to me to understand like how you are feeling today. Plus, what is your the level like basically how much you are aware about Dynamics 365 Service Copilot. So We can see some comes up. That's really good. Thank you. We'll wait for a few more. Yep. Thank you. So as soon as you join, guys, please give a thumbs up. I can see 6. I think few more can join. 8, 10, okay, 11. Great. I think we all are there. So, while in the interest of time, I have like a lot of content to cover. So I'll just move to the first question. That's like, how are you guys feeling today? Curious, ready to learn? That's quick. Okay. Looks like we have many people who are curious to know about things and ready to learn. Okay, I have like one folk who is really energized and excited as well about this session. Okay, great. I'm really happy to see that no one is tired. So that's really cool. Okay, so don't worry. We'll try to not to disappoint you on your learning path, and will try my best to share the knowledge that I have on the Copilot in Dynamics 365 customer service. The next question that I want to know from you guys is, how familiar are you with the Dynamics 365 Service Copilot? Somewhat familiar. Okay, good. Not familiar. Nice. Okay. 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 Nice. So I can see like most of the people are not familiar, and this would definitely help me to cover the topics like based on the level of knowledge that you guys have. Okay. Okay, cool. So I think like I would say it's a balanced uh, participant between the somewhat familiar and not familiar. Okay, so thank you very much for your participation. So you can now keep your phone aside and just let's get back to the session. So the first thing that I want to emphasize is on the customer experience, because as I mentioned while discussing the agenda, the customer experience is something that we all look forward, be it any product, Dynamics 365 or any customer service product that we are implementing. So, and over here, what I want to emphasize is like how generative AI can help to enhance the customer experience and also increase the agent productivity. The customer experience plus enhanced agent productivity, this both goes hand in hand, because both are mutually consent to each other. But how Gen AI can help? It is like, because the first part is about the personalization. So personalization is about like how Gen AI. So basically, the Gen AI can help to create a content which is very specific to that user. So if I'm trying to reach out to any call center and someone greets me with my name, I'll feel like, okay, yeah, they know me. Also, if they would be knowing my purchases history, or if it's a banking account, they know the details or the product that I have. So it would be easy for the agent to propose a next product, and also it will be a really and highly personalized experience that I will get. And that's where the generative AI comes into the play to provide that personalization or hyper personalization. The next is about the efficiency in the customer service. Definitely, with the help of the generative AI, we'll see in the demo and the upcoming slides as well how generative AI can help us to create a summaries. It can draft emails for us, and that's where our efficiency comes into the picture. So it will be helping the agent to increase their productivity so that the average handling time can go down and they can serve the more number of customers in a better way. The third one is about the data-driven insights. So definitely, so Gen AI can democratize the data access based on the enabling the non-technical people, because we can see there are fancy dashboards that are available, but only technical people can build it. But with the help of Gen AI, and if time permits, I'll be also showcasing one of the dashboard which is available in Dynamics 365 Customer Service, which generates an insight out of it. And that is really a good insight for someone as a technical head of an organization, or someone as the call center head, to see how the cases are being created, what are the current trends, and what they should actually focus on. Last but not the least is on the automation of repetitive tasks. The Gen AI frees up the analyst time because it can generate the content. And also it can help to create some of the topics in the Copilot Studio world, or the basically the conversations that can be handled by the bots. So if there are any frequent issues which are happening, so that bot can itself create a topic, learn from it, and so that they can handle the request on their own. So this will reduce the number of requests coming directly to the service agent, and the bot itself can handle it, and they can also provide a resolution if it's possible. So there are many ways the generative AI is enhancing the customer experience, but these are the key one which I would like to highlight today. The next one is the customer experience trend. So over here, what I'm highlighting is the survey done by the Gartner in 2023. And the survey focus was like, what are the generative AI initiatives where we can take the maximum advantage of, or where the CXOs or the participants feel that they can take a maximum advantage. And over here as well, we can see the customer experience and retention is the primary focus of the generative AI. That's what was being the part of survey that was being conducted by Gartner. So I'm not saying generative AI cannot help on the other aspects, but the majority of the strength or the people on the globe, things like the it can definitely help as one of the major factor for improving the customer experience and to retain that customer. So this was about the customer experience and the improved productivity. Now getting into the Dynamics 365 Copilot, but before that, would like to know I would say I would like to highlight what is Copilot. So Copilot are basically the AI assistants provided by Microsoft. It is there in the Microsoft ecosystem right now, as we see in this screen, so that it is available in almost all the products. Now we are also getting a laptop which are Copilot enabled, so that at least it can understand or make the conversation in a natural language. And whatever the cognitive tasks are like reasoning and the decision making, so those tasks are being assisted by Copilot, which will definitely help to accomplish the task easily and will be faster as well, so that we can focus on the more value or the high value task. And for a reason, it is being called a Copilot, as it can assist us to so that we can do our task more efficiently. So this is about like a general definition of a Copilot. Because just to repeat, Copilot is our AI assistant. Now getting into the features. So as I mentioned, like first I'll go through the Dynamics 365 Service Copilot features over here. So the first and the foremost feature, and which is like the favorite of mine, is the ask a question. So over here, I have given some of the screenshot as well. So in Dynamics 365 service screen, if you have seen, there is a right hand side, there is a pane which will be available. The right pane will be having a Copilot prompts, which will definitely help us to reply, and we call it as ask a question prompt. And in that, we can type in any of the questions that we need an answer as a service agent, and based on the knowledge articles which are configured, it can provide a response. That was till the last year, but now it is being enhanced, and it is also bringing the data from the as external systems, so which we'll be seeing in upcoming slides as well. Also, it can give the auto prompts. So based on the conversations which we are going on with the customer right now, or if we are that's a live conversation that I'm having it can generate a prompt so that it can say like this is something you can ask me and I can provide you a resolution. So that is something also which we'll be seeing in the demo. The next is response. Definitely, we can see the responses, and this response are based on the entire conversation that is happening. So it is not only the last conversation it will pick up and give the answer. It is incrementally understanding the conversation that is happening and giving a response accordingly. And the translate response, that is something which is really cool feature about it. Like it can do the translation, and there are as far as I remember, it's 13 or 13 plus languages which are available as a Copilot in a different features perspective, and where we can do the translation or leverage a translation feature or capability of Copilot. So this was about the ask a question. The next one is about the case summary. So whatever the cases that are getting created in Dynamics are and the associated email conversation that we are happening. So suppose there is an email, there is a case created from an email, and suppose after that there is a back and forth happening on that particular case or the ticket that we have. So this Copilot can understand all those email conversations and it will create a summary so that at any point in time, if we go and open the case form, I can see what's going on with this particular case. What is an email that has been coming up and what is the customer up to right now? And or where as the customer service head, I can see how my agents are doing, how they are responding to that emails and all. So I can get a view of as a quick summary on a case form. The next is about the conversation summary. So this is a link to the our previous screen, ask a question, but it will give us the summary of the entire conversation. So it's something which I'll go into the demo that will be very more clear to you guys. The next is about a drafter email. So this is a very another cool feature I would say from the Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Service, which can draft an email for us. And this email is being drafted by understanding the incoming email. Then it uses the knowledge base that is there available with Dynamics 365 or wherever we have. If there is an external source that we have provided, it understands that knowledge source and it will draft an email. So this is something also will be a part of the demo and I'll be showcasing. And also, like once we create a case, now after that, sometimes the agent keep on forgetting there is something we need to also help our other agents by creating a knowledge article. And that's where the draft knowledge articles feature comes into the play, where whenever the case is being resolved, I get a prompt and where we'll be seeing like, okay, it will be coming up with a proposal that this is how you resolve the case and there is an opportunity for you to create a knowledge article, which definitely will go through a review cycle. And once it's published, it will be available to all. But at least this will enable that you don't forget to create a draft KB article, which can be taken up for the review later on. And this will definitely improve the productivity because if some of the other agent is having a similar issue that is being faced by any other customer and they're asking for a resolution, this knowledge article can be of a great help instead of starting from a zero or a scratch. Now talking about the extension of the Copilot, so these are the new features I would say. Some of them are still in preview about the Copilot in Dynamics 365 customer service, where we can design our custom prompts. And as a part of the custom prompts is something that we have seen that ask a question that was a chat window, which was the first feature I highlighted. I can define my own prompts as well. The prompts can be like, give me a summary of this case. And it will just go get the information and create a summary of that particular case. Or if I want to have an additional prompt or this is something which is based on the business that particular client is into, we can define those custom prompts, which their agent can leverage so that they don't need to go into the dynamic CRM screens to get the information, but they can just write a prompt and they'll get the details out of it. And this feature is available with only Dataverse right now. So whatever the information it is going to have as a part of custom prompt will be from Dataverse. But if you want to have some information that is from the external system, then definitely there is an option available, which is called connector actions. So as you can see in the screenshot, there you can select your connector. This can be any of the connector, but if this connector is not listed, there is an option to create our own custom connector, which can be configured based on the API details, and we can get the information, and so that at least we'll get a response in a natural language format. So there are two parts of it. The one is a custom connector, which can be leveraged within our organization. So if you create this connector, publish it, it will be available in our organization or our tenant. But if you want to make it available for the entire Microsoft platform, then it has to be certified by Microsoft. And so over here, whatever you see like SharePoint, Dynamics 365, Salesforce, OneDrive, SQL Server. So these are all certified connectors. So if you think like your connectors are like really good and will be like be really beneficial to the other people in the world, then definitely you should go for a certification of that connector, and then that connector will be available for all to use it. So this is how you can extend the Copilot. Now, this was all about like Copilot features, right? But we want to also see or the gauge how my Copilot is performing. So over here, with the help of the Copilot analytical dashboards, we can get to see like over here, the get to see over here how my Copilot is performing. To give a glance of it, like over here in the screenshot, we can see there are total 6 cases, out of which one case is resolved with the help of Copilot. So if there is any interaction which is being done with the Copilot, those interactions are being stored in the these all tables, the 4 tables that I have highlighted: the Copilot interaction data, Copilot transcript, and Copilot transcript data. And those information is then leveraged to build this dashboard. So this is Microsoft provided dashboard, but we can use the information available in these 4 tables to create our own dashboards or the report as well to understand the effectiveness of the Copilot in my organization, because this is what we also want to see. Like, I have turned on the Copilot, but is it worth? Is it really helping me? Is it something that which we need to do to make it more efficient? So this is where this Copilot analytics report will be helpful. Now, there is one more feature that is an agent experience profile, which is really cool. And I personally like it because this was an ask from some of my customers with whom I am working with. Like, there is a Copilot which was there earlier, which we can just switch on and off. But there was no control on, suppose I want to give few features to few user, I want to give few features to the another user. I was not able to control that. Now we can do that with the help of an agent experience profile. So agent experience profile is where we can create the profile or a record in Dynamics 365 customer service workspace, and where I can select like, okay, I want to have ask a question feature available to this profile users, but they should not be able to have this case summary or the live conversation summary, be it any reason. So we can also control now the availability of those particular features with the help of the agent experience profile, so that we can control the access as well. Now, getting into this was all about the GYAM of like what are the Dynamics 365 Service Copilot, what are the features that we have. Now, let's get into the real-time scenario. And this is something, a scenario, as I mentioned, like is focused highlighting the customer experience. Over here, in the scenario, we have a David who is a guest basically and stayed in a Grandview hotel recently, and he's really dissatisfied over there because there was a delay in room service. There was a lot of noise disturbance over there. The rooms was not up to the mark, and so he's really frustrated over here. And what he's looking for, and this particular hotel was being suggested by a travel company, which whom he is always interacting with. So he thought of, okay, let's raise a ticket, or let's reach out to the travel company and ask for a refund, because I'm not at all happy with my stay. And that's where we see this is a use case. So I would just give a quick flow so that you guys can understand your better way how the demo works. So the first thing is like, this is my David as a character, like is happy, and is we have considered over here WhatsApp as our communication channel. It can be any, but nowadays we see like WhatsApp is something like everyone is using it. So I thought like, okay, let's demo with the help of WhatsApp. So there, David reaches out with a complaint on in WhatsApp to the particular number which is there for this travel agency. Now, the travel agency has a bot configured with the help of Copilot. So as soon as the WhatsApp message is being sent by David, the Copilot identifies the David, greets the David, and says like, okay, how can I help you, David? So then David expresses frustration, details, and all. Then the Copilot understand that, and we'll see in the demo how the Copilot understand the issue. And also, it will be raising a complaint in CRM. So over here, would like to emphasize that Copilot is not only answering on the KB articles, but it can do further by creating the cases in CRM and getting a response back as well. So once the ticket is being created, it is being informed David that, David, where is your ticket? And someone will definitely get back to you. But David is not happy because he wants something to be at least discussed right now, because the case is just a number for him, and he's not sure when this will be resolved or when I'll get an appropriate response. So he insisted on talking to a human agent. And we'll see how that conversation get passed on to the human agent. And over here, I'm playing a role of a human agent as well. So I'll say like Kunal is a human agent to whom the Copilot transfers the entire chat, and how Copilot beautifully have the conversation summary being created. And also Copilot can help to respond to the further questions of David through the knowledge articles that are already configured in the 365. And then after that discussion, the Kunal provides the voucher information to the as a compensation to the David, for which the David is really happy, and will actually promise him as well that he'll be emailing him the voucher details. And then, as a last use case, the Copilot helps Kunal to draft an email as well, based on the giving a context of all the discussions that was being done. And that's basically the end of the scenario. So this is how the entire use case I'll be presenting you today. So to start with, I'll be logging into the WhatsApp. And over here, you can see my WhatsApp channel. I am right now on the WhatsApp web. And over here, I'm using Twilio. So I have a Twilio demo over here, which I'm using for my WhatsApp conversation. So I'll say hello, hi to start with. Okay, so I can see over here that I got the response. Hi, David. I'm Travel Buddy. Please let me know how can I help you today. So this is where the customer identification and the contextualization comes into the picture. Over here, the David will say, I am unhappy with my recent stay at hotel. So with this, it understands the context, and over here we can see it is coming up the empathy feature as well. So it is saying like, I'm sorry to hear about your experience. I can definitely help you to assist with the booking. Can you please provide a reservation number? So that is something which over here, I'll be providing a reservation number. So this is the reservation number which I'm providing as a David. And behind the scenes, it is going and doing a validation against that particular reservation number. So this is not something which is being hard coded. It is something which it will call an API in the background, or the plugins, Copilot plugins in the background to get the information. So yeah, we can see that it has responded. I can see your booking at the Grandview Hotel with a checked-in date as 1st Jan 2024. Can you please confirm that this is what is the reservation are you looking for? And I would say yes. So thank you for the confirmation. Can you please share the details about the complaint? So I have a complaint noted in the interest of time, like it's the David is really pissed off. So he is written a long complaint. So like I didn't had a well good sleep. There was stains on the carpet, and it was not the room was not up to the mark, and there was a lot of disruptions and all things. So and he was not able to sleep because there was a lot of noise of the other guests around. So over here, what the Copilot has done is it has actually went back into the dynamic CRM, called the CRM plugins, and created a case for us. So as per our story, we can see that case is being created in real time, and they will connect to. Is there anything else that you can help with? But as we discussed, David is really not happy. He said, I want to talk to an human agent. And that's why he said, like, I want to talk to a human agent because he is not looking for only the case. And it is saying, like, sure, let me transfer to the human agent. And that's where now the capability comes into the picture of transferring to the Dynamics 365 omnichannel or the customer service workspace. I'll just switch my screen, and I'll be going over here where I can see already there is a request, WhatsApp request from David. I'll just accept that request and go to the assign conversation. Let me open that conversation. It's taking time. Let me just refresh it. Okay, so I can see there is a conversation that is being opened. Let me just close the additional windows. It's being opened by, okay, don't close. Let me just this don't close. I'll just go back over here. So the first thing which I can see over here is there's a lot of conversation that has happened, and I really don't know, but I can see there is a negative sentiment I can see over here. This conversation which is there transferred to me by a bot is not definitely going well, and that's where I can take the help of the Dynamics 365 Service Copilot and ask to summarize a conversation. Now, Dynamics 365 Service Copilot is actually taking all the conversation details, and let's see how it comes up with the summary. Okay, so customer expressed dissatisfaction with the recent stay at the Grandview Hotel. His room is not clean, blah, 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 and assured the customer further contact. Support agent and customer requested to the uh, talk to a transfer to an agent. Okay. And along with that, on the right hand side, I can see there is already a case being created. I can get the case number as well. I can see all those details of the David. I can see some of the past conversations that are there. And based on your requirement for your client, what you can do is you can define this conversation form as well. Now, I understand that, okay, there is something wrong. And what I'll do is I'll say, close David and Kunal, and apologies for the experience you had with your recent stay. I can see that ticket is or case is already registered. How can I help you? And over here, I'll just go back to my WhatsApp window, and I can see this conversation has already came up to me. And how can I help you? And as a David, I need compensation for the stay. And that's where I see like, okay, David is requesting compensation, and I'll just go back to customer service workspace. I need compensation. Okay. Now, over here, Kunal has recently joined and he is not sure about all those KB articles or how to compensate. And that's where he would just need a help of a co-pilot. Okay, over here. And the auto prompt feature helps me. So this was the first feature which I was discussing in the presentation, where we can see like how to request a compensation for a hotel stay. Yes, that is what I'm looking for. And the Copilot behind the scenes is searching the knowledge articles, which I can see. It has searched the knowledge articles so quickly for me. And we can see there's a report an issue, provide details, submit a compensation request. And if the compensation is there, we can, if the issue is being validated, compensation can be provided in the form of voucher. Okay, cool. So I can just type compensation can be provided in a form of voucher. And whenever we see a voucher, when we look for a refund, the first thing is like, okay, what is this voucher for? And where can I use this voucher? Why you're giving me voucher? I need my money back. And that's where the David will have a question. Where can I use this voucher? Okay. So where can I use this voucher? Just type in over here. And let's see if the Copilot can generate the another prompt for me. Looks like Copilot is in action, but not having a further suggestion for me. So let me just copy this and type like, where can I use this voucher? Okay, so I can see it has provided the answer again. You can use this voucher for any travel services offered, like as a this is a travel company, they can use the voucher for booking for upcoming hotel, flight, tours, and other travel related bookings. Okay, and over here we can see the sentiment has gone from the negative to slightly negative because that's where the David is now getting into it. Is understanding that yeah, I had a bad stay, but yes, definitely team is helping me. So over here, this is something which David is understanding now, and David is saying like, okay, so there can be further conversation, but in the interest of time, I'll say like, okay, great, thanks. I want. When can I? Okay, great, thanks. When can I expect a voucher? Okay, so now we can see, definitely see, this is something as a real-time sentiment has gone from negative, slightly negative, now slightly positive. And this is something in a real time being done. And as an announcement, what we can do is we can just have the actions defined based on those sentiments. And when can I expect a voucher? Again, this is something Kunal as a new agent don't know, like when these vouchers will be delivered. And, let's see. Okay, so it takes compensation typically takes processed of 5 business days. But I can see David is really unhappy. So I would say like, okay, usually it takes 5 business days, but we'll try to get it ASAP. Okay, and this is where I can see over here. I have received that message and I'll say, okay, thanks. And over here. Now David is happy, and the conversation I'll just end in the interest of time. Like this is where the conversation will end, and we have seen like from our entire journey how Copilot has helped to answer. The first of all, Copilot agent, the bot has created a case, understand the context, validated the reservation numbers, and also just provided whatever help it can. And whenever if it's the agent or the co-pilot, autonomous agent or the co-pilot agents are not able to help, we can transfer a chat seamlessly with all the conversation history to an human agent. The human agent, with the help of the summarization, can see the entire summary so that they can get up to the speed of what is being discussed. And after that, we can see this is the KB, like if we have configured KB articles, then the human agent can also answer based on those KB articles. And right now, what we see are the KB articles. In this demo, we don't have done the extension to the database data or the external data, but definitely that can be done, which I'll be showing you as well as a part of the how to configure session on upcoming slides. And so that if there is any information which is stored in the any other third-party system, which is not there in database, we can get an idea or an update of all those details from the Copilot. So that's why this will come to a end. I can see there is already a case being created, and I can see David. I'll just go into that case. I don't need to create a new case because there's already a case created. So let's close this. And over here, all the informations are being captured. So whatever necessary information required. It's taking time to load. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Yeah. So the other feature which I was highlighting about was a case summary. So once we click over here, I can see the summarization of a case. So yep, so it has done a very good summarization that about all the conversation that we had, so that we can see as a third party or the agent head, whoever is coming and seeing like what's happening with this case, with all those conversations, they can see like, okay, there was David was unhappy with the stay, and the case is being created, and the support acknowledged the complaint and offered a compensation in the form of voucher, which will take usually 5 days of processing time. So this is fantastic. So also I can see there is a summary that can be created based on the notes detail as well. And now the next thing for me is to just give resend the vouchers to David. So let me click on email. And that's where once again the Copilot will be coming into the picture. And I want to draft an email to resolve this customer's problem. So I don't need to select any template. I don't need to uh, type anything from scratch. So I can just click on this button, resolve customer's problem, and it is going to understand the customer's problem through the case summary. It will take the knowledge source, and then it will give us the step like, okay, so over here I can see keep it, and as it's a co-pilot, and there might be sometimes hallucination happening. That's why we are not sending the direct emails to the client, and we want to have a one round of review before it is being sent out to the client. So we can see that's compensation policy, causal problem, yeah, that's there. And over here we can see the other thing is like submitted. So we are asking him to again submit compensation request. No, I don't want to do that if it has already not happy. So I would just say like, I already received a voucher, which I'll be sending as an attachment. So attached as promised, attached are the vouchers for which can be used for any upcoming reservation with us. Okay, and I'll be sending out the attachment and with all those details. And yeah, so this is where the Copilot has helped me to draft an email. And also, like this, something which I would like to highlight as the summary or the email draft feature. In my experience, I have seen it has brought 50% of the productivity gain, where in the one of the European client where we work with. So this is something which we see a very small or very simple, but in the real world scenario, it is bringing a lot of productivity gain to the agent so that they can quickly close the issues. They can quickly send out the details to the client as a response. So with this, this comes to an end to the demo, and we'll be just moving further into our session. So Rakesh, is there any questions, anything that any hand raised or anything that there?
No, not at this stage.
Yeah, Kunal, I
Okay,
have
thanks.
a few questions. Sorry.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, Vaibhav here. So
Yes, Vibhav.
first question is related to knowledge articles from where the agent got the insight that he can give the voucher, right? Based on the dissatisfaction of the customer. Now, if there are multiple knowledge articles available for the same use case, let's say unsatisfied customer for the particular booking. So how can we do that from content wise? How can a co-pilot choose the relevant content for that particular chat summary or use case?
Right,
So,
right. So this was something which initially a lot of customer faced, and I also faced. And there is already the guidance from Microsoft on how to draft the knowledge article or the best practices for the knowledge articles, where they help us to uh, identify like, okay, how we can draft a knowledge articles, because uh, there can be a compensation voucher provided for different types of issues, and the value might be different. So in a
right,
way, we need to draft in such a way those knowledge articles, and I think I can share those links offline with you, so
okay,
that that can definitely help to improve the knowledge articles. And also one of the feature which is there, I'm not sure if I can just let's say over here resolve customer's problem. Over here there will be the knowledge source coming up, check source, and there is a
yeah,
thumbs up, thumbs down. So that where we can definitely, if it is something very irrelevant, we can click on this thumbs down, provide a feedback, And this is something which I have seen personally. It won't reflect immediately, but over a period of time, it improves based on the comments that are being shared over here. So something which can be also leveraged as a
Okay.
feedback provided to that knowledge article.
Okay. So first thing is we need to have a complete control on our article itself in the KB
Yes.
entity. Okay.
Yes.
And the other question was related to you were checking or the bot was checking the booking details of the customer, right? Whether those are correct or not. So is it mandate that all those details should be in Dataverse or it can be in outside Dataverse as well?
It can be outside Dataverse. So I have also after this, I'm going to how to enable Copilot. So just
Okay.
hold on for a few more minutes and I'll be
Sure.
showing you how this is being done so that at least it is to answer you, it can be done outside Dataverse and I'll show you how it can be done outside Dataverse as
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
well. Okay, thanks. That was really good questions from Vaibhav. Okay, so moving to the next part of the session, that is how to enable Copilot. So we have seen those wonderful things and that is being done, but we really want to see because some of you might be from a background of an IT where you want to go and actually configure this. So the Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Service is very easy to configure, I would say, to start with. It's not something that I'm doing day in, day out and saying it like that, but yes, it is easy. So for that, first of all, you guys need to go into the Customer Service Admin Center. So this is one of the app which is available with Dynamics 365 Customer Service license. So with an omnichannel capabilities that if we have enabled. So we get this Customer Service Admin Center. In this Admin Center, we need to go to the productivity part of it. So in this productivity, we see the Copilot for questions and emails. I'll just click over here and I can see those features I can be turned on from here. So ask a question, the help pane for write an email, include the knowledge articles. And over here, the knowledge articles which are being included were from Dataverse, but there is an option available where the web address can also be added. So I can also have a knowledge article which was there from outside world. If say, for example, I was taking example of travel company and where my frequently answered questions, FAQs are there on my website. Why should I configure again on knowledge base? I can just quickly go over here, add on a web address, and after that, this will learn it and it will start answering based on it. So this is something which is really cool and it has a limitation up to 5, but there are a few things which we need to consider. It has to be indexed. So if it's a public site, it has to be indexed. If it is not indexed, there is an article available on Microsoft site to how to get it being indexed and all, so that at least it will start appearing in your uh, Copilot screen as an assistance. Translation can be enabled over here and the agent experience can also be enabled over here. So these are the places where we can see quickly or easily we can just go and configure some of the features of the Copilot, which were specific to the one that is on the ask a question, draft an email. So those things can be done over here. Translation is something which we can see over here. I can get those translated to multiple languages. There is a lot of language list available over here to which I can translate before sending it out to the client. So we can use that. So I think it's in India. So I'm from India, so I see it has given a very good translation and with all those details over here. Sorry for that. So this was about the first part of the enablement that we can do from Copilot with questions and emails. Let me go back to see the summaries. We have seen the case summary, conversation summary. So those can be enabled from here, where we can say case summary. We can tick mark over here, live conversation summary that we want to have it, whether we want on demand, where we want to have whenever the case is being created, we want to get those summaries available, translation. So all those information can be made available. One thing which I would like to specifically highlight is about the case summary managed data. So this is where we can also define the fields on which we want to summarize. So say, for example, I want to have a summary where I'm doing custom implementation. We don't have a notes. We don't have a product. We just have the title and description. This is what I want in my summary. And the customer name. So I can just select these three fields and my summarization by Copilot will be done with these three fields only. Plus, we can see over here up to 10 email address that can be excluded. As I mentioned, the Copilot case summary takes into the consideration all the email conversation that is being done along with the chat conversation that we have seen. But if sometimes we want to exclude some of the email conversation, then it gives an opportunity to add those email addresses as well. So whatever summary is being generated, it will exclude because sometimes we want to have some internal conversation or internal checks. Say, for example, in this scenario, we want to get a voucher approval. But I don't want to get that as a part of my case summary. So I can just exclude that email which is specific for the voucher approval team, and the conversations from that particular email will be excluded over here. So this is about the features over here. One feature which I forgot to demo and which I can do it right away as well is, let me just start this. And the David is happy. David has replied, yo, bingo, I love it. So I'll again book it from you guys. So I'll just click on resolve case as David is happy. And over here, I can see that there is one open activity. I will close it later on. But yeah, resolution is like the voucher provided. So in this scenario, we have already had a KB article, but there are sometimes there are new cases that has came up, and I was referring in my presentation that we want to create a draft KB articles. So this is where the proposed new knowledge article flag it's turned on. Once I click on this, it will go and resolve the case. And along with that, it will give me a window where I can see the Copilot prompts with the generating the knowledge article for me. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Case is resolved. The another screen has popped up. So you can see it is drafting. Let's see. So while drafting, what it will do is it will basically get all the content, what was about the case description, what's the resolution provided, and based on that, it is going to draft the knowledge article for me. So meanwhile, this is drafting. Let me, in the interest of time, go back to the screen where we can turn this on. So we have seen the Copilot can be turned on from the productivity screen, productivity navigation. Over here, I just need to click on knowledge creation, AI generated. And once I click on this, I can see that once I click on or enable this particular checkboxes, there is a case creation knowledge feature will be enabled for me. So that at least whenever there is any case being created, results or case is being resolved, it will prompt me to create a knowledge article for that. Looks like it is taking more time. So it works. I personally created those as well. So I just discard it from now. Oh, it created. So let me continue editing. So we can see that issue, cause, and the resolution. So this is how the knowledge articles will be structured. I can create a proposal. So it will go into the draft, and as per our approval process, this has to be published this after approval. So this was how we have enabled the knowledge articles and the other features that we see. Now coming to the part of how we have turned on the particular actions. Okay, so which even there was a question from Vaibhav, so I'll showcase that. And this comes under the part of the extensions. So we can have the extensions created, and how we can create those. I'll show you that first. I'll click on add actions. There are two options available. The one is a prompt, one is a connector, and this are specific one which will be available from the Dynamics 365 customer service ask a question pane. So this is where I can create a prompt or I can create a connector. and there is already a prompt being created. So let me show you that. So just for the basic understanding, I have created the case detail prompt. I'll just edit that prompt. So it's a little bit slow, looks like. I think we are just on the top of the hour. Will not take more than few minutes because we have to do Q&A as well. Yep, so we can see this is a prompt being created. In this prompt, I have provided an input. So where I'm saying like input text and what are things that I want to give as an output for the prompt. So this is something which is only restricted to Dataverse. I can select only one table over here. And I will be saying like, okay, case number, title, and all those things. For the input, what I'll say is like, okay, let me just go back and take this example of the case which we recently created. Let's go over here and I'll test the prompt. So once the prompt is being created, we just need to go to the Dynamics 365, the customer service admin screen and add that as a plugin. So we can see this, right? So there is already case created of a type problem and we are getting this as a prompt. So these are the prompts which I can use in Dynamics 365, ask a question and to get the data from the Dataverse over here. Now, if I want to get a data from outside world, what I can do is I can create an action. So I'll be just going over here, add an action and as a connector, and that connector can connect to any external data source. Okay, so that is being provided, and these are all Microsoft certified. That's why I see. But if I have something which is very specific to my organization, I can create a custom API and have an prompt over here. It does provide an open API support as well. So something which is there on open API or sorry, OpenAI APIs, we can use the leverage or use the leverage that as well. Now coming to the travel buddy. So this was the something which was done outside the Dynamics 365 service Copilot. So where I have leveraged Copilot Studio. In this Copilot Studio, I have provided the knowledge details over here, hotel stay details, and also created an actions. So these actions were, so this is an action which has been created, which was actually taking an input on the reservation details and giving me an output of the stuff that I have. And these actions are created through Power Automate. So if I want to create a new action, so I can just go over here, create an action. It will open up a new Power Automate screen. And to answer your question, Vaibhav, where we can use any of the connector of Power Automate to get a data from that particular system, and it can give you the response back. So reservation details were stored in the Dataverse in our scenario, but if it is stored in some other place, we can behind the scenes, it is a Power Automate which can connect to any custom connector or any of the third-party connectors to get the data of that particular reservation. So yeah, so this is where the extension comes into the picture, and we have seen like see, don't leave, but those actions or the extensions we have, how we can have it. So I'll just go back to the productivity part of it. Once I go to the plugins for generative AI, it's still in a preview. I can see all those plugins which are being created in Copilot Studio will be available over here, and those I can leverage to get it embedded in this pane where I can get the answers from this Copilot. So this is how I can define my custom prompts plus get the data from some third party or any Dataverse data, anything. So that's how I can make a note of, I can get those Copilot in action. Now coming back to the slide, I think, yeah, that was it, what I want to show. And yeah, think I am already on the time, but any question, sorry, that you guys have?
Yeah, I think there are two questions in the chat window, Kunal.
Okay, so let
You
me
want me to
start
read out?
presenting and see those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yep, so that would be helpful if you can.
Yeah, the first question from Anuja is, are these Copilot common for FS and CS both? And will Copilot at customer service get data from FS and vice versa?
Yes, so answer that. The Copilot, as I started with what is Copilot, the Copilot is available across the landscape in Microsoft. So there are different types of Copilots. The today's session was focused specifically on the Dynamics 365 Service Copilot. Similarly, we have an FS Copilot as well. And that is where that answers your first question, where we have a different Copilots which are product specific. Now coming to the next question, as I was like I was mentioning, we can use the custom connectors or any connectors to get a data from any system. Similarly, we can make those Copilot working by getting a data from any system. So in case of FS, we can get a data from Dataverse or CRM system, and CRM can get a data from FS. So it is possible to get those details as well. So yeah, it can work with any data.
Okay. Okay. So now I have enabled the mic for Anuja, you and Padmaraj, both of you. If you have any further question, I can see one question from Padmaraj, but I would request Padmaraj to ask that question directly. You
Sure.
can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yep. Hi.
Hi, Kanal. Uh, so I have a question about the user permissions. Let's say a particular user has no permission to view a specific data, let's say payment data. Does the Copilot works with that user's context, or Copilot has a different user context and it can view some data which I am not able to view? So then it will become a security issue, right?
Right. So that's a good question. So as I understand, like if what you're trying to say is like suppose the user is not having the particular access to that data,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Copilot has an access to that data, and like there's something which I need to check offline because so far I have seen we enable Copilot only after based on the details access that they have. But if we talk about the extensions, I have seen the extensions where we can do the restrictions on the data that we can do. So yeah, but a good question. As far as I know, it is only for that particular. It works in that context of users security only.
So if I can just add on top of your response, Kunal. So currently, like this Copilot is just like exploration mode. So even the clients are not that much willing to share the sensitive data to all the agents across user groups.
Yeah,
Okay, so whatever
right.
information is being transitioned via Copilot, it's all generic.
Yep,
Okay.
that's true.
Yeah.
So very good question, Abhilash. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I can see one more hand raised.
Yeah, let me enable the mic for Navneet. Yeah, Navneet, go ahead. Navneet, if you are speaking, I think you are on mute. We are unable to hear you.
Or nowadays you can type in and we can reply.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are now. Yeah.
So I was asking, is there a chance that we can integrate two bots or say two copilots together? Let's say,
Unfortunately, no. I had the same question and I had that challenge, and where I reached out to Microsoft, and the answer is no. And that's why it was spot on because I had the same scenario where I want to have the two components talking to each other. As of now, it is not possible. So, but that's something which is Microsoft is working on it. Don't know the dates, but I raised it with Microsoft, and there was a response I got probably 15-20 days back only.
because I can see there is a handoff topic in the Copilot Studio. But I was not able to figure out how to trigger the handoff, and if it's triggering, how it would perform the handoff.
I can show you that. So basically, it's a part of the Dynamics 365 customer service omni-channel configuration. So let me quickly share my screen so that at least you can see how I have done it. So what I'll do is I'll just go back to the customer service admin center. We have a work streams that are being defined. Okay. And in this work stream, so basically we have a capability of defining like this work stream is specific to which channels or what type of work I'm doing. It's taking time to load. Let me just refresh the screen. Not sure why it is stopped. Let me just open it in a new tab. Okay, so I'm not sure why it's not loading, but yeah, so basically in the work stream, once you define a work stream, now over here, what we can get is the details of like what are channels that you want to have this work stream enabled for, and also we can define a bot, like which bot will be the first to interact, and that's where what I have done is the travel buddy is my bot, is basically which I have configured. And this bot, I have enabled it for the channel of Dynamics 365 customer service over here. And so that once it is, so you can see over here, it will be showing as connected in an omni channel. And then I can get that particular bot connected to that particular work stream. So this is how Microsoft has provided the integration where we can, whatever the channel or the bots that we have created, those can be hand off to that particular agent. So this is how the agent handoff configuration is there. We can connect offline. I can share more details on that as well. But bot to bot is something that is not possible right now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not sure why this screen has stopped loading, but I can share more details here.
Sure.
Any more question, folks?
I have just posted one question, two, three questions there. I did first on premise is it available for on premise instances as of now? Sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. I think Kunal, you're there. It looked like some issues from Kunal end. We're unable to hear him. But let me just quickly go through a question.
My query was regarding the on-premise and is there any license associated with it? I'm talking more on the architectural point of view queries. So is there any license associated with it? And the third one is my issues comes up. Most of my clients have problem with regarding the data, right? So like GDPR or HIPAA, like if any kind of challenges are there with respect to Copilot utilizing the data across, say if the multi-company, organization, like sorry, multi-geographical. So how does it deals with the GDPR constraints and the HIPAA constraints, for example?
Yeah, Kunal is joining in a minute, some challenges. But while he's joining, Anuja, as far as my knowledge goes, if you're talking about licenses, so are these licenses you're referring for on-prem version or in cloud version?
Both. Is there any licenses associated with it, or it is right now the like Office is paid, Office Copilot is paid. Is the Copilot at the CE applications also paid, or it is still in preview and later it will be becoming licensed? Something on that side, on that ground, I was asking.
See, right now, as far as my knowledge goes, license. So there are two types of co-pilots across the Dynamic 365 family product that Microsoft has launched. Right, one is Copilot in, and another is Copilot for. Right. So as far as the Copilot in is concerned, what we talked about today, that comes with the bundle of your Dynamic 365 app license. But if you want to interact with Dynamics 365 Copilot for other apps, then there is a license associated with that, right? So I'll share my experience in this year. I was part of MVP Summit at Redmond. So there we talked about these licenses, concepts, and all. So I agree with you. Currently, it is associated with the license cost of that app. But I think in future there might be some token-based license probably will get enabled. Okay. And coming back to your first question, where you talked about the area of on-prem, as far as my knowledge goes, it is only for cloud version. But I'll wait Kunal to comment more on that. I think he's joining in a minute.
Sure. We face a lot of challenges regarding when solutioning. So licenses is some of the very important
So
aspects.
when you
Yeah.
face what kind of a channel or approach that you normally take, Anuja? You try to reach out to Microsoft folks, or you try to reach out to sales team? How is it in
So
terms of the process?
I try to resolve things by myself at first regarding the licenses, because it's a very burning topic. A license that it changes. I have been in situations where even we have been given free licenses or on the
Yeah,
but in the
yeah.
licensing guide it is paid. So it happens, right? So it's
Agreed.
all, yeah.
No, I'll
So
tell you
but
why I asked this question. In this kind of scenario, I would highly recommend you can subscribe to the
mm,
Microsoft Viva channel. Earlier, it was Yammer, and there
yeah,
it's a good learning resource, and it's a all product team from across the engineering and sales. They are really helpful, and they will try to support and at least give you a guidance, and at least they'll give you
Yeah,
more information around it.
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Kunal. Kunal, there is a one question still unanswered. Is there any Copilot
okay.
available on-premises version of CE as well?
As far as I know, no, it is not there. It is there only for the uh, online version, so it is not there on the on-premise. That is best of my knowledge.
Yeah. So if I can just add on that, the reason behind it being online is because all these regulations are region specific, so it cannot be controlled for on-prem.
Yeah,
Because
on-premise. Yeah,
on-prem, the complete control is under organization or the clients, on which the
right,
Microsoft will not have any control. And clients can
right.
use this data for their training purpose and all. So that's the reason it is centrally monitored via online platform only.
Right, right.
What about the GDPR and the HIPAA constraints for the on for the SaaS as well? If it is, if there is something regarding that, there is any kind of bottleneck regarding the Copilot, like how do the Copilot
No,
manages the GDPR
No,
yeah,
or the
yes.
HIPAA?
So, yeah, so data security is definitely being taken care of. And Microsoft, as a responsible AI, has already provided the guidance on that. And the data movement is definitely happening and for the learning and all. But coming to specifically on the Europe side, this is in compliance with GDPR and other regulations. And I can share those details as well, from Anuja, right? So I can share those details as well with which where there is special opt-in feature available for the European
Okay.
clients. So yeah, so there is something. So for North America, India, and some other regions, it is on by default. But for European countries, considering those regulations, there is an explicit opt-in available where they need to go read it and opt-in for that. So this is something which is in compliance with the regulation of European Council. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Any more question, folks, before we conclude for
But
today?
I'm really happy to see that Rakesh, like it's been like we are on top of the hour and still I'm getting
Yeah,
the questions. So really happy to see that people are really interested in this topic. So thank you, team. So it is you guys who
yeah.
make
Thank
this
you, thank
session
you. Yeah,
successful. Yeah.
Just before we conclude, I would like to add that since I don't have access to the chat, might be some issue on my end. But I found this licensing guide where the guide talks about for Copilot in customer service. I think Rakesh has already shared a photo in the chat. So we have shared that in the chat, and that guide also talks about all the Copilot application. We'll try to share that guide as well. So you can go through the guide, and it is very in detail because Copilot usually works on two factors, that is capacity and messages. I won't go into much detail, but on a monthly basis, you get a single capacity that is about 10,000 messages. So based on messages, you are built in capacity, and based on capacity, the messages keeps on increasing.
Right. Thanks, Kesar. And Dynamics 365 Service Copilot is something which is enabled with the help of Dynamics 365 Enterprise license. And so that is something as a prerequisite which is required. So without enterprise license, it will not work. So, yeah. But thanks, Rakesh, for sending out the detailed sheet. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I think we can conclude for now.
Yeah. So thank you once again, India D365 and our community, and special thanks to Rakesh and Kizar for having me, and a wonderful
you,
audience. Yeah. So
yeah, Navneet,
okay.
you want to say something? Okay, by mistake here, Reza. So no problem.
Okay.
And Kunal, thank you very much for your time. And I myself learn a lot of new features I learned. Although it is a customer side engagement side of story, but I think the Copilot is a common journey, right? So thank you very much for your time once again. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.